Hey everybody, what's up? I am going to go ahead and do a live stream of this Twitch game where I'm playing my Blood Ruby semi-aggro deck. It's more mid-range than anything, but it does have a little bit of aggro in it. It's got some pretty cool tech as well. Apparently I want to draw a lot of resources. You know, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep this hand. But I do like playing this deck, and I'd like to record this and possibly put it up on YouTube just because some of the tech is fun. And I'm not saying it's necessarily a Tier 1 deck by any means, but I don't think it's a Tier 2 deck. It might be one of those Tier 1.5 style decks to where it can be competitive in a competitive nature, in a competitive tournament. But a lot of that's going to depend on what the meta is once they release more cards. So we'll see how it does this game. This is not the ideal hand to keep, but I'm going to keep it anyway, just because I can, and we'll see how it turns out. Now that I have 2 of each resource, which is the max threshold for any cards in my deck, at this point I'm going to start playing the Shards of Fate next. I have my Persecute now ready and available with 2 resources here. And so if he plays anything that I don't like, say, I don't know, a Howling Brave for that ramp, I can get rid of it pretty quickly. Alright, that one's not so bad. When it enters play, draw a card. It's a 1/1. Okay. Alright. Well, we're playing for the late game here, so I'm just going to start bringing in other resources using the Shards of Fate. I think I'm fine for a while, so it's only turn 3. I'll wait and see if he overextends, and then I'll be able to play the Extinction at that point. Normally I have a creature or 2 out by this point, but because of the heavy resource hand, I went ahead and kept it. Maybe against my better judgment I shouldn't have, but I saw the Extinction, I saw the High Tomb Lord, and I saw the ability to use those together and have the shards available to do so probably pretty readily by turn 6, and that's what it appears will happen. So if I can use those, let him extend a bit, even if he hits me in the face a few times, that's okay, because hopefully at that point he will be down to a lower card count in hand, and maybe I can get rid of some cards, get some cards in the graveyard, and have that High Tomb Lord charged up to be high enough. I don't see any removal coming from him yet. There are some cards in Wild that are removal against creatures, but there's not a whole lot of them, so until he plays a second color, I don't suspect I'll be dealing with a lot of problems here. Go ahead and play the next Shards of Fate. I'll get a Blood, get those out of my hand, and get the resources available for them next turn. And then from here on out, I can just continuously charge my champion. I cannot target this directly because it's got Spell Shield, which is annoying. That's very good, 1/2 flying for Spell Shield, and it costs 2. So I can't Persecute it. I would normally, but Extinction will take care of it because it destroys all troops. But we're going to wait and see how far he extends. Wild Root Dancer, very powerful when you play a resource. He's going to go ahead and pump the 1/2, I'm assuming. Yep, it does have Spell Shield, so that's the correct choice if you ask me. Gaining 5 life, and now we're looking at getting hit in the face for 4. Again, not a huge deal. I'll wait till he extends a little bit further, play the Extinction. At this point, that would make the Tomb Lord a 4/4. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and Persecute. Gets my it prevents him from doing it again. It might slow him down. It gets 2 more cards in the graveyard, so that would make it a 5/5 when I play it, depending on what else is played. Okay! More resources. I am playing 25 resources in the deck. I normally only play 24, especially with a fairly low resource curve and threshold curve, if you want to call it that, in this deck. High Tomb Lord is my highest cost card. And I have a lot of 2, 3, and 4 drops in the deck. I'm not seeing any of them right now, but I have been having issues with getting my threshold at 24 cards, even with the lower threshold cost cards. I just wasn't getting the right distribution. So as a result, what I've started doing is playing 25 resources per the suggestion of function. I don't like doing it, but I will. And I'm actually playing a 61 card deck, so I'm not sacrificing any cards. I'm just adding one more resource available to the deck. So it slightly increases the probability of me drawing the resources that I need. It's a very curious play to charge this into a 3/3. I'm not exactly sure why. I probably would have made this into a more powerful creature, but at this point he's extended pretty far. He's getting pretty powerful. Next turn he'd be able to swing for 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, possibly 11 if he played another resource. So this turn I'm going to go ahead and Extinction. I'll take the 6 to the face, I'll Extinction, and then I'll have a pretty powerful High Tomb Lord on the back end to show for it the turn after. He does have more life than me because I've let him extend further out and beat me in the face a bit. Man, this deck is being a douche. I will go ahead and do 1 damage, gain a life using my champion power. And Extinction's going to hit the board. We are now looking at 1, 2 in my graveyard. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a total of 7. So High Tomb Lord would become a 7/7 when I play him next turn. Yikes! Chaos Key. Void this artifact, void target card. That is extremely powerful, seeing as my High Tomb Lord is my only win condition at the moment. And then the Honeycap comes in as a 6/6. Things are not looking good for me right now. Things are not looking good for me right now. If I draw another resource, I'm going to cry. Ragefire is okay, but not great at this point. He's only got 1 card left in his hand, so I'll go ahead and play the High Tomb Lord. I know next turn it's going to be Chaos Keyed, but I don't know what else to do at this point. I suppose I could wait, possibly, make him feel like another card is more threatening, but at this point, with a 6/6 coming down the pike next turn, I gotta force him to use it. So it's been 7 turns. I've seen 9 resources. Maybe shouldn't have been the hand to keep. It's quite alright. I took the risk. It did not pay off. That will not be enough. I needed that earlier, but go ahead and play the Xenos Inquisitor. It'll give me a blocker. Ragefire is not quite big enough to kill him. The Inquisitor does damage equal to its power coming into play. Yeah, I'm in a tough place. Don't see myself getting out of this one. Got screwed with drawing all those resources. Happens. Next game we will we'll see if I can't get a better draw. Should I have kept that opening hand? Maybe not, but I took the gamble. Swinging for the win. I'm going to go ahead and block. I don't have much of a choice. I just hope that at this point what I draw next turn will help me. Theoretically, actually very almost immediately it will help me. I'm going to go ahead and play the Inquisitor. Again, when it comes into play, it deals damage equal to its power. So at this point, that's a 3. That's a 6/6 that I'm playing it against. It's the only creature, so there's no randomization about it. I'll Persecute it, giving him -3/-3. That will kill the immediate threat of the Honeycap. And I survive another turn. That's the power of the Inquisitor too. Even though he increases by 2 every time he comes back into my hand from dying. When I play it, it's very powerful because of that damage that it directly deals to a random creature. If you're able to control the board state and there's only one creature out there, you're looking into a pretty good lens, knowing that whenever you play that Inquisitor, it's going to directly hit that creature. He's going to play another Honeycap. Unless I draw a Persecute or something nice like that, my victory was short-lived. I guess it would be just more of a victorious moment than anything. An extinction! He lives to see another day. Oh, Lord. I'm just going to do it. This will increase to a 7. But it gets rid of his other Honeycap. Or of another Honeycap. Which are super powerful. I can Ragefire. Right now I want to save it. Because I can afford to let my Inquisitor die once more and still have the resources to play him. Beyond that, he starts to become unmanageable and difficult to play. He has the tech that lets him draw a card, then choose and discard. So he is able to filter through his cards a little bit more readily, which gives him a little bit of an advantage here. And he's discarding resources like crazy. He's going to gain 2 more resources on the back end and 2 threshold, putting him at 8. Next time he plays a Honeycap, it's going to be much bigger. And as he continues to filter his hand, that will very likely happen. Makes it more out of reach for me to kill him as well. Let's see what I draw. Hi, Tomb Lord! That was helpful. What did he use to kill it last time? How did he kill my High Tomb Lord last time? I don't even remember. Well, anyway. We're going to go ahead and play it. Oh, that's right. It was the void staff, the chaos key. That's what he used. So now I've got a 15-15 looking at him, playing for the late game, somehow pulling this off. Maybe. Oh, looks like the gamble may have paid off. It's a roller coaster of emotions over here, folks. It's filtering through his deck, seeing what he can draw. May help him out in this situation. Discarding another resource. Good grief. That's okay in a sense, because then my High Tomb Lord does become more powerful, but I'm curious to see what he plays. He's got 3 cards in hand. Nothing. Okay. Well, I am going to swing with a 16-16 next turn. So, gained a charge. I'm dealing 1 damage to him and gaining 1 health. That puts him down to 21. If I play the Rage Fire, that'll put him down to 19 and put my High Tomb Lord up to 17. So I'll be a 2-point differential from winning. I may need to save the Rage Fire for a creature, so I'm going to hold off since I can't win this turn. And I'll just swing with his 16-16 and see what he does. Okay, damage straight to the face. You might also wonder why I'm still holding the Inquisitor. It's because of that tech that I talked about earlier, dealing damage to a random creature, random opponent's creature when it comes into play. If he plays something with 5 on the back end, I can Rage Fire and Inquisitor during the same turn, and I'll be able to kill it, especially if that's the only creature that he plays. So I want to hold off and see if he plays a creature to block, and then that's when I can play the Inquisitor and maybe hurt him on the back end. Drew a card, discard a card. He's going to discard another card. That'll make the High Tomb Lord into a 17-17. Oh no! It's the Fist! Crush and Invincible. However, must attack each turn if able. So, I can block him. It's not going to do any damage to me. Well, I mean, it'll do damage to me directly. But it's not going to hit me on my life total. So then he will be tapped out, and I will be able to attack the next turn. So I'm not going to attack this turn, and I'm going to hold on to the Rage Fire. He has to attack with the Fist. I'll block it. If he plays no other creatures, I'll Rage Fire the Howling Brave the following turn, and then win. The reason I won't play the Inquisitor right now is because if that damage goes onto the Fist, it's not going to kill him. He's invincible. He cannot be killed. He can be pacified, or what's the card in this format now? Drawing a blank. Inner Conflict. You can do an Inner Conflict on him so he can't attack or block. That effectively renders him inoperable. You can permanently tap him using one of the blue cards, but with what I currently have, even Extinction won't remove him, and it would kill my High Tomb Lord, so that is not something I want to deal with. So I'm going to hold off. I'm not going to attack because I want the blocker. Could I Rage Fire the Howling Brave this turn? Yes. Do I want to? Not necessarily. If he has another creature in his hand, I don't want him to have. I don't want to have to wait another turn for him to have somebody to block with. Although on the flip side, if I play the Inquisitor, no, that's only 3 damage. It might be worth the risk. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to hope that the Inquisitor hits him on the Howling Brave, and I'll have 2 creatures to attack with next turn, in case he plays another creature with a blocker. No, that may not necessarily work either, because then if I don't kill him, he'll have the fist. I'm going to play it conservatively. I'm going to wait, and we'll go from there. He's cycling another card, drawing 1 and discarding. It will make the High Tomb Lord bigger, as I mentioned before, but at this point, I don't think that necessarily matters. When he moves into his attack phase, he's forced to attack with the fist. I'll block with the High Tomb Lord. It will not kill either. I don't suspect he'll attack with the Howling Brave, because he'll want it as a blocker next turn. I'm curious to see what one of those 3 cards are in his hand. It appears as though he's contemplating on whether or not to play something. Pact of Life. When you play a resource, gain 3 health. He's down to 2 cards in hand. With an 18/18 coming at him, I don't know that 2 life is going to make a difference. Okay, I will declare my blockers. Damage is assigned. He has a tapped creature. Alright, it is go time. Ragefire the Howling Brave. Move into my attack step. Swing with a 19/19 for the win. And it's good game. Whew! The gamble paid off in the long run. Is he going to give me the glory, or is he going to concede? Either way, I want to see that victory screen. Maybe he's typing. And there it is. The gamble paid off. The game turned around for the victory.